To quote the legendary duo of Eric Andre and Hannibal Buress, words, 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 punchline. There. Now I've broken cold opens down to their bare essentials. You're welcome. What is going on, guys? Dirtsheet clocking in from the Spoiler Alert Network. I am here with the peen that is mightier than the sword and my notebook of notes, which means that I'm about to spew a bunch of facts at you and get you excited for something. This is the Loki hype train. So, the Loki hype train drops literally tomorrow, June 9th. Like, you have zero time between now and tomorrow to get ready for this series, and it is going to be absolutely insane. So, the Loki series is probably one of the things that I'm most excited for. Definitely that's hit Disney Plus so far and out of this phase so far, because like where we had WandaVision and Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which were both really good series, those were kind of used to tell a story for those characters. Loki is going to be laying groundwork for not just this phase but beyond, because Loki, unlike WandaVision and Falcon and the Winter Soldier, is confirmed to get a second season. So we might not get a lot of answers in this series. They are honestly probably going to be laying the groundwork for the multiverse even more and just kind of opening paths that they can go back down, not just in Loki, but in movies later. So, which segues into many of my points. So one of the things that I'm excited about in this series is time travel shenanigans and madness. So the TVA is going to be introduced, which the TVA is the Time Variance Authority. The TVA are essentially time cops. So they reside in this space in Marvel that is kind of outside of time, and they just kind of monitor and watch over all timelines that like exist essentially. So if something is awry in a timeline, or if there's a variant, which is what this Loki is, you know, they are kind of sent to police it and fix it or delete it. In like extreme measures, at their darkest, they have been known to erase entire timelines that are deemed too dangerous to exist. Like, the TVA do not around. They are extreme, and they take their jobs very seriously. So, the TVA being the powerful faction, a new powerful faction that's going to be introduced in Marvel, and they, since they reside over all timelines, Feige has already done good about introducing the branch timeline theory. This is just going to open up so many paths in the multiverse. We can see so much. Like, we're going to see multiple Lokis. We know that for sure. This Loki that we're getting introduced to is not our original Loki. This is not the Loki that had the big redeeming character arc that we seen die in Infinity War. This Loki is the Loki fresh off the invasion of New York, which means this Loki is more of a dick than the rest of the Lokis. So, not only is this Loki Dick Loki, that's what we're going to name him. We've dubbed him Dick Loki. Sounds really bad. But we know that we're going to see multiple Lokis, like the Loki who's running for president in another timeline. It is one of the rumored characters that is not confirmed, but a lot of people are thinking we're going to see is Lady Loki, which is honestly one of the most dangerous iterations of Loki. It's a female Loki from another timeline. So that could be pretty nuts, but it's hard telling how many Lokis we're going to see. I don't know if any of them are going to be really important, but it's going to be super cool to see all these different forms and iterations of Loki introduced, and not just iterations of Loki, but a bunch of different timelines. Like, we go to a timeline where New York is destroyed, and it's assumed that that was the aftermath of the Battle of New York, in a timeline where Loki defeated the Avengers, where him and the Chitauri invaded Earth and he won. Like, there's a whole lot of weird timelines that we can go to, and even not just alternate timelines, like historical sites. Like, we see him go to Pompeii. and the Mount whatever, Vermont, or whatever that mountain, that volcano was that, destroyed that city. So there's going to be a lot of time travel shenanigans and a lot of strangeness, a lot of weirdness, which also segues. So we're dual segueing here into potential groundwork laid for Kang the Conqueror. Kang the Conqueror is confirmed to be in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. But Kang the Conqueror has a very deeply rooted history with the TVA, including Ravonna, I think that's how you say it, Ravonna Renslayer, yeah, who is actually one of his romantic involvements from the comics, and she is in the Loki trailer. It looks like she's kind of like residing over the trial of the Loki variant at the TVA. And that, so like, we might not see Kang, or we might get a glimpse of Kang, but I think that really they're just going to be laying the groundwork and kind of Easter eggs, foundation, maybe mentionings of Kang the Conqueror. That way we kind of know, like, the more casual fans know who Kang is when we get to Ant-Man and the Wasp, because Kang is an OG Avengers villain who I'm super excited for. So it'd be really cool to kind of get, some Easter eggs or mentions of him in the Loki series. And after that, like I said, I think the biggest thing that I'm excited for is the fact that the Loki series is going to continue. This is not a one-off series, you guys. Like, there will be a season 2. We're going to come back to Loki. So I really don't expect us to get a whole lot of, like, questions and then answers in this series. So they are really laying the foundation for what happens beyond Loki and deeper into Marvel from here on out. So, like I said, guys, it hits Disney Plus tomorrow. So, if you're one of those friggin' goons who lives under a rock and doesn't have Disney Plus yet, go get it. I don't even know why you're watching this video if you don't have Disney Plus and don't watch Marvel stuff. So, the way I see the Loki series is this is going to be akin to the What If animated series, but this is canon, because unlike the What If animated series, Loki is directly tied into the Marvel universe right now as we know it. So all these other timelines, it's going to be super cool to see. It's hard telling. There's going to be a lot of shenanigans, a lot of madness. So just make sure you guys tune in, because it's going to be super cool. But until you tune in to Loki, and until you see one of the guys' faces here at T-San saying words at you, just remember to stay dedicated.